Hi Internet, welcome to the Gretron YouTube channel, here with another rocker reaction. What are we reacting to today? We are reacting to a song from the Blue Dragon soundtrack. We are reacting to Ian Gillan and Eternity. Now, you might be wondering, what is Blue Dragon? I've never heard of that before. Well, Blue Dragon is a video game. I've never played Blue Dragon, but the soundtrack was by Nobuo Uematsu, who is in my top 10. And for this video game, he just called up Ian Gillan and was like, "Hey, Ian Gillan, do you want to sing the boss battle music for Blue Dragon?" And Ian Gillan is like, "Hell yeah, dude, I'll do it." So, as mentioned previously, Uematsu is a big fan of, 70s classic rock bands, like Deep Purple, like Yes, like Genesis. That's just, what he cut his teeth on musically. And so he had a song that had a Deep Purple kind of vibe and called up Ian Gillan, and then Ian Gillan sang the music. And so a bunch of, unsuspecting kids playing video games just heard this, badass, Deep Purple-esque rock song as the boss music for this video game. So once again, I've never played Blue Dragon. I'm familiar with the song because it got used in a fan-made video game about Charles Barkley, called Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, which is a fan-made sequel to Space Jam where basketball is illegal because Charles Barkley performed a chaos dunk that was the equivalent of a nuclear explosion that destroyed most of New York City. And so Michael Jordan leads a gang of secret police that hunts down basketball players, and Charles Barkley leads a revolution against him. It's a very silly game, and they used this song for the boss music in it. And when you downloaded the folder that had all the songs from the game, it was labeled as Jesus Christ, the singer from Deep Purple sang this. So I first became familiar with it through that fan-made game, but it's from Blue Dragon. Never played Blue Dragon. The soundtrack's pretty good. There's an anime adaptation. Haven't watched it, but I figured this would be a fun wildcard reaction because there's, a lot of people on the channel who, definitely didn't know the Blue Dragon soundtrack even existed, but it's still a classic rock artist you're familiar with, and it also gets to showcase, some of the songwriting of Nobuo Uematsu since he wrote the song, so you still get to, a peek into one of my top 10 favorite artists, but it's still, classic rock related. So thought this would be a fun one. So yeah. Eternity off the Blue Dragon soundtrack. Let's do it. Yeah, so, great rockin' start, a classic Ian Gillan wail right at the top of the song, but, great pulse, great, energetic guitars, brisk drumming, and, of course, some classic rock organ. This is just a very cool song. When I first heard the song, I wasn't necessarily a fan of the vocal performance. I think I would have preferred some more effects on the vocals. The vocals are very dry, and I think this dry of a vocal this forward in a mix with modern production, I'm not necessarily a fan of that per se. Like Latter Day Jackal albums kind of have this, where the vocals are just super dry and up front in the mix. But, re-listening to it now, I think it's actually a really great vocal. So maybe I would have wanted an effect on it for, production's sake. But, Ian sounds great. The song is cool. It's got great energy. And, this gets you pumped for that boss battle. You're probably fighting, I don't know, it's a JRPG. You're probably fighting like a dragon or like a talking door or some shit. So I don't know what bosses are in the game. But this would get me pumped to fight them. This is pretty sick. So yeah, rewind a hair, get back to it.
Shining on my heart, memory of
Yeah, sorry for all the pause, but so much great stuff to comment on, and I don't have the same headache I had with the last video, so I'm with it. I'm here, but also the headache subsided, midway through the last video. But anyway, this just really great pre-chorus. Love the chord changes, love the movements, great bass playing. Just really really great movement into the net section. I'm gonna rewind a hair, but I just loved that section.
From the sky up above, this is the beginning. Here's where all gets started under the sky above.
Great keyboard line.
This is the beginning. Here's where it all gets started. Learn what you learn to love. This is the beginning to
Yeah, just great solo section. Ian's vocals sounded a hair pitchy to me right before that the solo section, which is a slight ding against it. And I love Ian Gillan; he's great, but it just sounded a little bit off from my ear. But once we got into the solo section, just great alternating between awesome ripping electric guitars, which, very shred-tastic, and then into the great organ solo. And, then we got some nice, cool, a little harmony section, which was really great, which, very Deep Purple-esque. So, I mean, really in a lot of ways, this is just, a modern Deep Purple kind of song. Obviously, with just Ian and the Japanese studio musicians, but still just a cool tune, and I'm gonna rewind a hair, but I think that's just a really great solo section. It doesn't let up at all. It keeps rocking. It's awesome. Blackmore-esque.
This is the beginning to live. It's all been started under the sky above.
Love that keyboard line.
This is the beginning. Move on. It's all been started. Feel what you learn to love. Feel it all in your eyes, showing you what you can see. Reaching here, you are blind, staring down eternity. Feel it all in your eyes, without you can see. Searching here, you are blind, staring down eternity. A light shining on my heart, memory of forgotten love. Rays burning to the cloud, down from the sky. One more. This is the beginning. Long ago, it's all been started under the sky above. No time for beginning. Finish what you started. Learn what you learned to love.
Yeah, as we're getting towards the end of the song, just all the vocals from the last time I paused have been really really great. Just awesome vocal performance. Rewinding a hair. Yeah, super cool ending to the track. Yeah, I think this is a great song. I think the fact that I first heard it in a joke context, made me not take it as seriously because I heard it in a video game where I was fighting Michael Jordan to save the future of basketball. So and also that it was labeled as Jesus Christ, the guy from Deep Purple sang this. So I wonder what my experience would have been like hearing it in the proper context in Blue Dragon. But once again, I never played Blue Dragon, so I'm not sure. And then, what my thoughts would have been had I heard it just in isolation as just an Ian Gillan song. So, trying to work against those biases, I think it is a strong song. I think it's a well composed, well performed song, and there are a couple points where I maybe would have been like, let's try another take, see if we can get that line better. But I'd say overall, Ian Gillan's vocal throughout this is very good. Couple spots where it doesn't work for me, but overall very good. Would have liked some changes to the vocal production. But otherwise, I'd say, yeah, this is a cool song. This is this might be a solid A, not an A minus, not an A plus, but this is an A. I think this is a cool song with maybe a couple minor production gripes. But overall, I think it's well produced, well performed, well composed. And I think it's very cool that, Nobuo got a chance to work with someone who was one of his musical heroes. As I've gotten a chance to, meet a lot of my musical heroes and, reach out to them and, do what I've been able to do with them to, for him, he was a Japanese kid who was listening to Deep Purple in the 70s and just thought, oh man, this is so cool. I hope I get to make music one day. And then became one of the most legendary video game composers of all time and got to work with one of his heroes. I think that's really cool, really exciting, and I think it lives up to the legacy of Ian Gillan's career well, in that if you compare it to just like, let's say, a Kiss recording of there, or like any, classic rock artist putting out material around when this came out. I think this is like 2007, 2006. I don't know the exact year, but any artist putting out, material during this era, I think this is comparable and competitive, and I think it's just, I think it's really cool. So yeah, this is a thumbs up from me. I feel like probably a lot of people on this channel hadn't heard it, but I thought this would be kind of a cool discovery. So let me know what you think of it. Do you think it's silly and doesn't live up to the legacy of Deep Purple? Do you think it's, a joke song? Or do you think it's really great? I lean towards really great. I think it's just, I think the humor derived from like how you don't expect it in this fun little anime game, and then all of a sudden you got a freaking Deep Purple monster rock song in the soundtrack. But I mean, Nobuo, if you listen to a lot of his game soundtrack stuff, you can hear where a lot of those progressive rock and classic rock influences incorporate into his writing. Not on every track, but there's a lot of stuff where you can hear it. So yeah, hopefully this was a cool discovery for you, and be sure to stick around. I've got another great Wildcard Wednesday pick for next week, and then after that, I'm going off script, and I'm going to, I planned out the first couple Wildcard Wednesdays, but after that, I don't have a plan. I'm going to get weird with it, hoping to react to some obscure bands and stuff I haven't ever heard. So, but next Wildcard Wednesday is just a really great song, and then after that, I can't make guarantees because I'm going to go in blind to a bunch of stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. Please do the like and comment and subscribe and the bell icon, all the things. Thank you guys so much, and have a good one. Peace.